What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I have one of the best NFL draft series on the internet. And we ain't just watching highlights. We got the actual people here on the interview. Today, we're going to get to know a quarterback who's not only one of my favorite quarterbacks in this year's draft, and this is a year where they're saying, hey, it's not a super deep class. Maybe that's true, but I'm going to tell you, this guy can throw the deep ball, and you're going to want to watch what he does with his legs as well, too. He could be considered a dual threat quarterback, but I don't even want to put him in the category because the guy can just ball. I'm going to talk about some of his awards here really quickly. 2023, he got the Armed Forces Merit Award. He's a 12th ever recipient of it when he was at Furman University. Crushed it over there, and then finishes off his career over at Jack State, not to be confused with Jacksonville, Florida, but over in Alabama. And man, did he take and ball out. Looking over some of his accolades, 2024 Conference USA Player of the Year. Not easy to get. 2024 Conference USA Newcomer of the Year. First team All-American Conference USA. And then also as well, he's a championship MVP on top of that. We can even take it to the year before. He's not new to this. He's true to this. 2023 Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Year. I'm just going to let him tell his story. He's all that in a bag of chips. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack State quarterback Tyler Huff. Tyler, how are you today, man?
Thanks for having me on, man. I'm very good, very good. Excited to do this.
Awesome, man. Right on, brother. Well, so blessed to take and have you on, man. Dude, take us from the beginning. We're getting to all the football stuff. Let's talk about you, man. Where are you from originally, man? When did you fall in love with football?
Yeah, so I'm from Orange Park, Florida originally. It's about 20 minutes outside of Jacksonville, south of it. I was born and raised here. I started playing football when I was 6 years old, and it's been my go-to ever since. Growing up, that's pretty much the only sport I played. I played a little bit of baseball from about 6 to about 13, and then I wrestled a little bit in high school too, but football was mainly my sport.
Love it, man. Love it. Did you always play quarterback or?
No, so I started out played running back until I was about like 8 or 9, and then I played linebacker. I played middle linebacker and quarterback. I just kind of went back and forth with it. And even in high school, I started both ways my freshman and sophomore year. And then when your junior year, when you kind of get more serious about recruitment, you're like, all right, I got to pick something. So that's when I chose quarterback.
Made the right decision, it seems like.
I think so, yeah.
Very cool, man. Very cool. I gotta take and ask you, man. Obviously, you live a life of service, so obviously we see all the really cool stuff off the field. Excuse me, on the field, but off the field, you serve. Are you still actively in the military, or?
Yeah, yeah. So I am. I'm in the reserves. I've been there for about 2.5 years now.
Wow, dude! Thank you for your service to our country, man. We really appreciate you. I heard that you come from a military family. Is that right?
I do, yeah. Both my grandparents were in my one was in the Air Force, one was in the Navy.
Okay, hey, the two best branches. Love it, love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you travel around a lot? I know you're from Orange Park originally, but did you travel around a lot growing up? Or?
No, I did not. By the time I was born, my family traveled a lot, but by the time I was born, they were all done with that. So
Okay, gotcha. Hey,
yeah,
Florida's a retirement state, so
absolutely. This was the end goal for everybody.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Everybody getting snowstorms. We're enjoying 40-degree, 50-degree weather, so we'll take it.
Absolutely.
Right on, man. Man. So eventually, you go over. You start off your career at Furman University. Is that right?
No, so I started at Presbyterian College. So that's where I went out of high school. It's another FCS program, but it's a non-scholarship.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so then you
Yeah.
go from there to Furman, and then Furman to Jack State.
Yep, correct.
That is amazing, man. I love that because like it shows the evolution in you as a player, kind
Right.
of thing, and how you've
Yeah.
grown. You've taken things to a new level and a new level. Obviously, when I finally release this, I'll have the final edits, your highlights playing below at the bottom. But yeah, I ask you, how would you describe your play style to somebody who's not quite familiar with you?
I mean, I like to think I'm a tough quarterback. I'm one of those guys who don't really believe in sliding. Being the
Okay.
quarterback, you gotta be the leader, right? So in my mindset, the leader, best leaders lead by example. So I mean, the running backs, the receivers, the tight ends, they don't slide when they get the ball. So I think it's kind of important. If I'm gonna be telling them to go get their head down for a first down, I got to be one doing it too. So I'm not a quarterback that slides. I'm not scared to put my head down. Uh, get that first down. Either I'm running you over, I'm juking you out, something like that. But toughness is something I kind of bring to the game, and my team respects that, and it gets a lot out of them whenever they see their quarterback going fighting for extra yards. So it rallies the team. So it's a good feeling.
That it definitely does, man. You got some running back in you too, man. Like that's I love the way you tote the rock because some people they run like a quarterback. They run like they're frightened. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. And you're out there and you are delivering the hit. And I love it, man. I ask you, who are some quarterbacks that you kind of maybe inspired you to play the way that you play?
Baker Mayfield, that's an easy one. That's my favorite quarterback. Always been. So I started wearing number six actually my junior year of high school. That was whenever he was starting to blow up at Oklahoma. That was the year before he won the
Mhm.
Heisman. But
Yeah.
that's really when he became a name. And I was watching him play. I just like how he demeanor. How he plays. Obviously on the field is great, but his attitude that he brings with it, it was something I've always tried to, I guess, resemble.
I love it, love it, and the growth in him as a person too is great. I mean, they try to write him off and write him off. They sent him to Carolina for his career to die. Essentially, it just went from
Exactly.
there. He did his thing. Rams. He was there for what? Not even a week, and like won a game for them. And
Yeah, I
then
remember I watched that story. He came in on Tuesday and he started that game on Sunday.
That's
Couldn't even imagine.
crazy. That's crazy. And some people like they wrote him off, man, because they'll try to find parts of his personality and gameplay, but he's only getting better, which is crazy, man. So I love to see it, man. It makes a lot of people look stupid for not really investing in him. Speaking of investments, obviously we got the NFL draft literally right around the corner. I got to take and ask you, man, with the NFL draft around the corner, where are you training and what are some things that you're doing to help take things to the next level in your training?
So I'm training at a facility called D1 Training. It's in Jacksonville, kind of a little bit closer toward the beaches. But I'm training with a guy named Connor Blountz. So he's a former quarterback, played it a little bit in the pros. So he's doing my QB training and also like my speed and agility. So big things I'm focusing on, obviously throwing wise. You just kind of show that you're consistent all across the board. That's kind of a gimme playing quarterback, but something else I'm kind of focusing on is, me being a dual threat, I got to show that I'm also fast. So a big thing is all those, the 40 times and the 5-10-5 and the L drill, pretty much all those running. I got to show that, I'm a true dual threat. If that's what I put on film, I got to have low time. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on.
Love it, man. And when it comes to focusing, man, like you're really a fine surgeon out there when it comes to picking apart these defenses, man, and seeing holes and making the most of every single opportunity, whether it's with your arms or even with your legs. I got to ask you, how do you mentally and physically prepare yourself on game day? Any rituals or anything like that you do? Or?
No, nothing really on game day. I mean, big thing is, we're always in a hotel right before. So to me, I kind of just sit back, relax. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not trying to think about it too much because I don't want to get built up and get real anxious and everything. But for me, it's always I turn it on right when I get on the bus. At that point we're probably about 30 minutes away from the stadium. That whole drive, you just kind of, I'm watching my highlights, listening to my music, kind of getting dialed in for the game.
Love it, man. You mentioned music. Who's in the headphones?
For the game day, it's NBA YoungBoy for sure. NBA YoungBoy and Big X the Plug. That's the two guys I need. That gets me right.
That's awesome, man. I like Big X the Plug. Oh my gosh, that guy. I'm the biggest, the largest. I love that
He's
song.
starting to blow up now, man.
Dude, I just moved from Texas a few months ago, man. So he is playing everywhere. You hear that beat.
Oh, I'm
Dun,
sure.
dun, 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 dun. I'm like, oh yeah, that's big X. That guy's already a legend to me, man. I love his stuff.
Oh yeah.
You play three different college programs. I have to ask you, man, because obviously the NFL's learning the playbook. Sometimes that could be a learning curve for some players, no matter the position, right? How fast are you? How fast are you learning when it comes to being adaptable and learning different playbooks?
Pretty fast. I feel like I've actually, one of my trainers has, he used to coach for the Colts, so he
Mhm,
actually has their old NFL playbook. So I've been studying that, learning kind of their terminology. Most of the time it's all pretty generic and the same across the league. Certain tags for certain route concepts are different based
mhm.
on the offense, but usually formations and motions are kind of similar across the NFL. So I'm kind of learning that as I go along. But yeah, I mean, I've picked up every offense I've been a part, pretty quickly. Especially with the transferring, you kind of get on Zoom calls and phone calls with the OC and kind of install until you get there. So it's always a process, but I've always picked them up pretty well.
Love it, man. 2 minute drill, man. You are marching down the field. You got the ball in the 20-yard line, and it's first down, man. What are maybe three of your favorite plays that you're gonna make? really going to try to aim for the end zone. That help for you at least to get to the end zone or get closest to it, man. What are some of your three favorite plays? Or you could go beyond that if you want.
Okay, yeah. So if I'm gonna go first down, all right. So we'll go 3-by-1 formation. We call this crash.
Mhm.
So number three on the inside, he's running a high corner. He's aiming for the back pylon, and then we got slant on the outside, and then backside of the X, he has a glance. So that's kind of our coverage read. If it's one high, I'm working backside. So my glance 101. If it's too high, I'm high low in the corner out to the field with, and if he's down with the slant, throwing the corner over his head, touchdown. Next play. Shoot, we call this one, it was X Dino for us. So it would just be, you can run it out of 2-by-2. So we'll have a bench to the front side. Number two runs
Mhm.
a shallow cross. And the tight end backside, he's staying in the block. And same with the running back. And then the X on the backside, he's by himself 1-on-1. So we called it the Dino route. So it'd be the post, corner, post. So he kind of has a lot of time to get, free. So he's 1-on-1. That one, I'm reading the front side. I'm waiting on the dyno to come open, so I know I got time. So working front side and then waiting on the dyno. Usually on my three and a hitch, I'm working back to the dyno. He's usually on the hash at that point. It's just a high ball, toe tap, touchdown. And then third, I mean, I always had good backs, so anything handed off to them. We were a big guard tackle counter team, so any kind of counter, let them guys get two bullying guys out in front of them, hand it off to the big guy up back, and let them run.
Touchdown. Man, I
Absolutely,
love it.
touchdown.
I love it. I love it, man. Like, and the way you play, I'm gonna take a Kim Ward quote, but he said he plays like with hatred in his heart. When you run, I feel the rage, man. I feel it. I ask you, what motivates you, man? Because you're a highly decorated quarterback in college, man. You've accomplished a lot. Took it to the next level, next level, next level. And here we are, drafting a couple months. What are some things that motivate you in life?
It's kind of always been the doubt. A lot of people say it, but like, hey, prove the haters wrong, that kind of thing. But that's always been strong for me. Coming out of high school, I wasn't highly recruited. My only Division I offer was Presbyterian College, and it wasn't even scholarship. So that's actually why I had to join the Army, was to pay for school, because I was, even though I was a starting quarterback, I was still pretty much preferred walk on when I played there. So even entering the portal out of there, Furman was my only offer. So again, nobody really wanted me under recruited. And then again, when I entered the portal last time to hopefully play FBS, again, I only had two offers. So I've always been under recruited, and everybody's kind of doubted me. And these past 3, 4 seasons, at least in my opinion, I feel like I proved them all wrong and proved myself right. So that's always my motivation.
Love that, bro. That's a heck of a story, man. Like a lot of people would have just given up.
Yeah.
It would have just given up, man. I can imagine your parents played a big role in this as far as like motivating you and being there for you.
Oh, of course, yeah. So, also my wife. I didn't mention that, but I'm also married. I got lucky at a super young age. So I met my
Congratulations.
wife. Thank you, thank you. I met my wife freshman year of high school. So we're high school sweethearts. We've been together for 10 years now.
Uh,
Married for 2.5. So I was blessed. I found mine super young, and she's been my biggest motivator. She's always been with me everywhere I went.
that's freaking go, man. That's awesome. I love to hear that. Fun fact about me: I'm 36. I'm going on 16 years of marriage. I got married freshman year of high school. Excuse me, freshman year of college. So
There you go.
yeah,
Okay, that's awesome.
tie the knot. Not a lot of people like you and I.
No, man, that's awesome. I got married junior year of college, so we're not too far apart.
That's cool, bro. That's cool. Yeah, a lot of people's like, "Oh, you're ruining your life. You know how much kitty cat is out there. You know how much you're only gonna last 6 months." People just talking crazy.
Uh-huh.
When God lets you know, you don't question God. So man,
Exactly, man. You put a gift in front of you, take that gift. Say
yeah,
thank you, sir.
exactly. Yes, I'm not complaining.
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh man, God bless y'all. That is so awesome, man. So awesome. There's a lot of teams that are starving for quarterbacks, man. Um, before I ask you, like, hey, which teams you think that you'd be a good fit for, schemes and all that stuff, what are some of your goals year one in the NFL?
Year one, I mean, I think it's really just get on a roster, active roster. Any NFL team, practice squad. Beggars can't be choosers. You're in the National Football League, so that's everybody's dream. So, just being on an active roster. Year two is kind of, become the starter, become the guy. Year one, just kind of learn and sit behind somebody who's older, obviously, but. everybody wants to be a starter. Nobody wants to watch football. Everybody wants to play football. So
Yeah, exactly. So you're gonna be gunning, in other words, for a starting position. That's
absolutely got to.
that's cool, man. Do you have some favorite schemes? Are you pretty much adaptable across the board, or?
Yeah, I mean, the three teams that I played for in college were all vastly different offensive schemes. So, I mean, the first year I was a lot West Coast pro style at Presbyterian. When I was at Furman, a lot of pro style, and then at Jack State, a lot of fast tempo zone read, that kind of thing. So I have no particular scheme that I'm looking for. Again, beggars can't be choosers, so I just want a team to see me and like me and believe in me. So
I love that, man. And what's something you want? And maybe you touched on this already earlier, but what's something you want NFL teams to know about you that they may not know already?
yeah, I mean, it's something like me. Obviously, I'm seen more as a dual threat, but that's more just kind of the circumstance I was put in. You know, our kind of offense, we didn't really throw the ball a lot, so I don't have a whole lot of film thrown it. But that's kind of the big thing on my pro day. I got to prove to these teams and let them know that hey, like I'm a consistent passer. You know, I'm not just kind of a gadget Taysom Hill kind of guy. I'll play that role if I need to, but you know, I want to prove and show everybody on my pro day and anytime they watch film with me that I'm a consistent, effective passer.
Love it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it there. You heard it there. Like, cause I saw like the throws that a few throws I did see on there. Like they were darts, man. Like they were in tight coverage, man. You were getting the ball to where it needed to go, and then boom, next play you take off 20 yards on yourself on foot. You know what I mean, kind of thing. So you have a like, hey, all or nothing, and that's the vibe I get from watching your tape, man. Obviously, and then you're an even more outstanding human being person underneath the helmet, of course, man. Life of service. So any NFL team that takes and gets you, man, they're getting all of that in a package, man. So you have so much to contribute to the locker room's culture as well, man. I think it's great. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I hope they all can see that.
Absolutely, man. No, they will. They will. I mean, look, you got teams like the Miami Dolphins when Tua went down, for example, you know, us Florida boys here talking, you know, they, you, there was not a stable second backup quarterback, you know, no
Yeah,
diss to Snoop or anything like that, but they just they needed, had they had that, man, somebody who could get an additional, because Tua was out for 4 or 5 games, so you know you have a situation like that, you know, or even with the Cleveland Browns, man, it's kind of, you know, quarterback carousel, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's bad. Love Jameis Winston to death, man. The guy is hilarious, awesome man of God, wonderful family man. But man, he's a, you know, as he said, God help me with these interceptions. You know,
yeah. Deliver me.
yeah, delivery. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I love Jameis. Jameis is great, but obviously, like we need somebody out there who could, hey, drive it home. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if these receivers aren't making it happen, if they're not getting separation, I'm gonna take stuff into my own hands and I'm gonna get that first down with my legs or however it may be, right? So I think that's really really exciting about you. I asked you, man, who are some of your favorite quarterbacks right now, man, in the league?
like I said, obviously Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
My guy is Jared Goff. I mean, he's the stereotypical pocket passer, but man, I mean, he gets through his progressions and he delivers the ball. Very, very good quarterback, really underrated. Another guy that's really underrated to me is Matt Stafford. So to me, those are probably my three guys: Baker, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford. I mean, Matt Stafford does incredible things that, you know, he kind of everybody sees the sidearm thing and give the credit to Mahomes, but I mean, Stafford's been doing that for years before that. So he's been a trendsetter, but you know, again, he's always been underrated. But nobody throws the ball better than Matt Stafford, in my opinion, in the NFL. He's got a cannon. So
yeah, and still he still has one too. Like it's,
still,
they were very close to beating the Eagles at one point in time in that game, and he still is like, hey, you know, he got another, you know, at least 2 years of good football left. I'm thinking, you
oh
know,
yeah,
so he,
oh yeah. I don't know how old he is. I'm sure he's close to 40, if not there already. But he's every
yeah,
time they show him, I see the white beard. So it's like, oh, he's getting up there.
it's coming in for sure, man.
Yeah,
Well, man, Tyler, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. This was a really dope interview, man. Very very excited to see what the next steps are for you in the coming months, man. You're a guy who is going to be surging, man. Once people see more of you, man, it's only up from here, man. You know, I know a guy like you, you're going to rise to the occasion, man. So you got a fan of me for life, man. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, those watching this interview, comment below. Let us know how this interview made you feel. Give them a follow. I'll have all social media stuff below in the description of this video. I know I certainly am inspired, so give them a follow if you want to get inspired. And we'll see you guys next time on the Touchdown. Doug Smith. Thank you for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where we have exclusive NFL content and exclusive NFL interviews. Be sure to hit that like and that subscribe button. Follow us on social media. See you on the next one.